It's going to be exciting. Around the world, we've heard some things. There are monstrous plants in the East Bight on the Rovanian plains getting burned and driven back into Mirkwood. So the forest itself has started to attack people. That's exciting.
Neat.
Uh, we've There are rumors of dark wraiths getting ready to leave Agmar and head into Arthedain. A shadow is growing in the far far north, which is different than the north. Uh, and no word from the King of Gondor yet. But things we have heard are that the Arthedain and Rudar are still at war, and we'll get back to that here shortly. But first, let's just go around. We'll start with Nestriel there and talk about exciting things that happened last session. That was awesome. Something.
I think I have two favorite things, but I'll pick one of them because I have to share with the rest of the group. I think one of my favorite things was we were all sitting in a room kind of strategizing what we were going to do about Willard's imprisonment, and then he just showed up and we questioned it, but we didn't really push anything, and then we moved on, and it was great.
Oh, well,
Yeah, that's a good one. That was fun.
Gundyr.
Also,
oh,
yep.
Go Gundyr.
Yeah, I guess my favorite bit was probably just fighting a tree
And losing.
and just constantly getting smacked, knocked back 10 feet, prone, get back up, run up and hit it again, get smacked and get knocked back again. And just rinse and repeat that like 4 times.
Didn't they write a song about that?
Yes.
Let's not.
Great minds, Greg, think alike.
Well, that's why mine doesn't think like any of yours. Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Yes.
No. That's why we all think alike. Sorry, got it.
That was
We
so
are all
fun.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are all geniuses.
Yep.
genius.
It's good that we can all be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. I did enjoy the tree fight, especially throwing people around. Well, I might do some more of that today, but that's getting ahead of myself.
I almost
Willett.
died. That was a favorite. So there's a lot to pick from in the last one. But one thing I noticed, and I don't know if this is a quality of the group. It's got to be a mixture of things. The group, the GM, the system, but there are cool little game rules that are making their way into the game as plot points. And there's a nice little parallel, and it's super smooth. And I can't remember the specific thing that reminded me about this last session. But another example is that we have the News from Afar ability, which tells us what's going on in the world, which parallels the online game and explains why we know what's going on and why these battles are taking place and these rumors that we hear.
Yeah, I'm excited that there is news from afar, right? There's stuff going on all the time, and a lot of it will be relevant as you kind of make your way through these areas, especially now that you've headed to west of the Misty Mountains, where a lot of action is going on. So we'll see.
Yeah, and Evil Willard, he maybe will make a cameo again at some point. But I don't know. Yeah, I might retire that for myself.
Well, at some point we'll run into your evil twin, right? So we'll have to have you roleplay Evil Willard.
We'll see.
Well, either that, or I'll have to try and recreate Evil Willard roleplay with you. But that's not today. Allred.
We'll see.
Yeah, actually, Evil Willard was my favorite thing from last game. It was real fun to watch him try to impersonate someone who's evil. Because he did it so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that because the bad guy there didn't buy it, but acted like he bought it because it was to his advantage to act like he bought it. So, play within a play.
They don't know that we know that they know that we know.
See, I thought I had the better of them the whole time.
You did. Don't listen to me.
Willard does get kind of lucky sometimes. So
I don't know if that's a Hobbit thing, but it happens.
It all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it sure did. Kellyanne.
Oh my goodness. There was like a lot of great parts that we all did. I mean, everybody like role played their characters exceptionally well. I mean, Bodhi said this earlier, but I like how we were being really serious and like hashing out a game plan, and then Willard comes in and just kind of destroys it all, puts it off kilter, and leaves us in a panic where we're like, oh God, what are we gonna do? And then of course the party splits for like the 50th time in the entire episode. But I mean, I really do like the interactions, or the character growth that you were seeing throughout the entire thing too. Like, you know, how Willard is becoming like a little bit more confident in himself by trying to pretend he's a badass. And Esriel, like, basically not having, like, doesn't feel the need to control everything. Was like, you know what, you guys, you figure it out. I'm going to go do this one thing. Which I thought was amazing too. And the romance that's happening between like Ulrich's character and, oh my goodness, I'm horrible at her name, but that elf.
Gliriel.
Gliriel. Oh my
Gliriel.
goodness. I write it down somewhere and I keep forgetting. Gliriel.
That's just her middle name. It's Gliriel, oh my goodness. And then that elf is the last name.
All right. So I was totally like on board with that. Got it.
That's how elfin names work. They're all very complicated.
Yeah.
It's true. Try making one. Jesus Christ.
I'll pass on that.
I mean, I'm giving you the English translation of oh my goodness and that elf, but sounds better in the original Elvish.
Oh, I bet. It's a lot easier to say, that's for sure.
Okay, I do have to say...
I do like that too. Like how Gundyr is trying to be awkwardly sympathetic. I like that too.
Thanks.
Great role playing last session.
It was very good, yeah.
Yeah, I have really nothing but good things to say about last session. I particularly enjoyed Kellyanne's line about everybody does some murdering now and then. And
to guard.
To the guards.
I'll bring that up.
Hashtag awkward.
Who hasn't done a little bit of murdering?
It made sense to Killian to say that.
And running into Evil Tree, like Evil Tree quite a bit. And that's kind of where we're going to pick up. But first, before we get to remembering what we did last time, we're going to need to do some war stuff from that News from Afar, right? And what we have is a situation where the King of Arthedain had gone out to deal with those wolves and fell into a trap by the hillmen, who decided to make one last gasp at trying to make themselves valiant.
Or was it just a bait and switch? Da da da.
So, anyways, we have essentially ended up with two fights here because the wolves, as he's in the middle of that trap, the hobbits from the Shire that showed to take off the wolves show up to help. So instead of being cornered between the hillmen and the wolves, the hobbits are going to be there to take on the wolves while the rangers of the north are going to be able to deal with the hillmen. So we've got both of those fights happening in concert. And we'll get some rolls. So, Willard, you're going to be the Shire today.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Oh boy, where's Genland Banshee to watch this happen?
He's here. He's here. Kellyanne, you get to be the Arthedanians again. Good luck. There now. Unlike last time, where we saw the defeat of the Eothrain, this time around, it does look like the good guys have a notable advantage in both cases because of their being able to work together. So there is the Rangers are up 61 points on their Rudar despite falling into the trap. They're way better than Hillmen. I don't know if you know this. And the Shire is not remotely as good as the Wolves, but there's a lot of them. So they're up by about 23 points on the wolves.
Wait, how many is a lot?
Basically 5 per wolf. That's
Whoa.
the plan.
How
Mob
many
tactics.
hobbits? How many hobbits overall?
So you brought about 1,500 bounders out to the deal with the
Holy
wolves.
crackerjacks,
So it's a
Batman.
That's a lot of
There's
hobbits.
a whole lot of hobbits involved.
You
That's
hobbits don't
accurate.
mess around, man.
That's a lot of hobbits.
Dang. Yeah.
They're peaceful until they're not.
Dot, dot, dot. Never underestimate their frying pans or their enjoyment of second breakfast.
This is going to be wonderful. We got this. We can take some wolves.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be easy.
Okay, let's start with the hobbits, and then we'll see about the Arthedanians. So, Willard, why don't you give me a percentile roll?
Percentile roll. $71.
Yeah, it seems like a good roll.
Well, the wolves didn't do so good. They got an 18.
Oh,
Hey,
So you were already up by 23 points, and you got up by another 53. Puts you in the 75 range. That's a massively bloody battle.
ooh,
30%
Ooh.
casualties for the hobbits, 80% or
Oh.
60% for the wolves, which is
Ooh.
almost as high as you can get without getting into the real stuff. Lots of fatigue all around, and just a horribly
Dang.
bloody battle. But the hobbits did win for that perspective.
it's a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, no shit.
those little hobbits are vicious.
Let's hope it's worth it. Let's hope they didn't die for nothing.
So
Well,
that's
casualty doesn't mean death.
yeah. You're looking at 30%
I
hobbit
suppose that's
casualties, which works out to somewhere that's like 450 hobbits, but half of those are just wounded. So 225 say casualties, and a lot of great stories about where they got that bite wound from back in the Wolf War, 40, I guess. That they'll be telling down at the Green Dragon.
Yeah.
But they have fended them off.
The hobbits proved themselves today.
And I think that's pretty much the end of the wolves at that point. 60%. They're not officially routed, but we're down to like 120 wolves left.
It's a lot of wolves, but it's
So
not a
that's
threateningly
good.
large amount of wolves.
The hobbits. We'll see if the hobbits have to like try and save the king if they somehow lose, despite being ahead by 60 points. Kellyanne, can you make that happen? I mean, I'm not sure what it is you want to make happen.
I mean, preferably the death of my enemies.
That works for both sides. I like it.
All right. Let's see here. Alrighty, so that is a whopping 88.
Oh, that is whopping.
Okay, well, I got a 21, so like my combined rolls would not have beat either of your rolls today. Good job. That puts about 129 point advantage for the Arthedanians. Yep, that's not the max on the chart, but it's pretty close. We're gonna say this is the end of Rudar, just so you know. After
Yes!
cunningly getting the king in a trap, they have suffered 70% casualties, so most of them.
Oof.
While the
Good, we're
Rangers
surrounded. Now we can attack everywhere.
Right, now we know where they are.
suffered
Get away
10%,
this
which
time.
is about 11 people overall, plus some wounded. And you've routed the remains of the hillmen as well.
Ouch.
So, good job this time around. We've done pretty good, although I'm going to say that most of the battles have benefited significantly from my really poor rolling.
That is so true.
I've only rolled
Thank
over
you.
50 once so far in all of our battles, and I won that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Papa.
But good news for the King of Arthedane. And for anyone who wants to start speculating on Rudar territory, it's full of wolves and trolls and rabid hillmen and stuff like that. So it's great. It's a great time for those people who don't have any better place to be. Like the
Yay.
Shire.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, with that in the books, let's move back to our group. You have been traveling north towards Dimril Dale in an attempt to join or to travel through the depths of Khazad-dûm in your eventual route to get to Rivendell, but you are now arriving. So we're going to need the guide to make the arrival roll, which is a D8 plus 1.
Hooray!
We had bonuses, but I didn't write them down. Does anybody remember what they were?
Yeah, that was
No,
the
we had
plus 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
plus one
okay.
on embarking.
We got the plus 1 for helping out the people.
Oh, that's right.
The travelers that were headed south out of the north. You did not get any additional bonuses for the campsite, and you did manage to run off the tree, but that doesn't help either. Still, 1d8 plus 1 is not bad. You don't
That's
get
gonna
any
be-
minuses for terrain because it actually wasn't that hard of a journey compared to the stuff you've been doing.
That's going to be a 7.
7,
Nice.
which is 1 less than 8, which is the
Mhm.
max. So, good. 7, tall tales and great deeds. You arrive with the tales of your journeys on the lips. Spirits are high and thoughts are filled with fine memories.
Yay!
Woohoo,
Nice.
We did it.
You get advantage on ability checks pertaining to social interaction while you're in Khazad-dûm.
Oh,
Woo!
thank God.
Wow.
We need
That's
that.
a good one.
This will
Yeah, that's-
remain until one of you fails one of those rolls.
Well,
Oh,
we
good
know
hell.
what's gonna. Oh God.
Don't let me
Nobody-
make any social checks.
That's
I'm
totally
gonna
how to work that,
social
Elred.
checks.
We are all very likable to the dwarves. We got this. Even Nestriel's you're gonna do fine.
Yep. That's yep.
Yep.
Before we get 100% away from the journey, is there any way I could go study the section of plant life that the creepy tree thing sucked dry so that it didn't die?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Right after that, you went over there and you took a look at it, and it very much looked like kind of like the life was sucked out of these plants. So they, kind of the withering effects, except not necessarily like just dehydration, but like actual like cold and dehydration would do to a plant very quickly.
Ah,
So
neat.
your general guess as a scholar is that you probably guess this anyways, but that there was definitely more shadow involved. There was shadow involved, not just natural things.
Is there any way to reverse it, or is it permadeath?
Give me a scholar roll.
An intelligence check?
I mean lore, right? Shadow lore specifically.
Hey,
Ha ha ha.
I am good at that. Thank you, Galadriel, for your blessing. Please don't be an indication of the rest of the night. The largest number is a 9.
Can I assist?
No.
Damn it.
I already have advantage, so
Oh, okay.
still, largest number is a 9, which gives me a total of. So proficiency is still 3, or is it 4?
It's 3.
Still
3.
3.
Still
Yeah.
3. One more level. Damn. All right. So 16 total on that, which is not what I was hoping for. But hey,
I mean, it's something you're good at. You don't think these plants. You think these plants are pretty permadead, but it doesn't look like it affected the ground necessarily, like seeds and stuff like that. So you think that this area will recover.
okay. That assuages my wood elf. I'm good.
Okay. And despite some of the gloom that happened near the end there with that bad campsite and evil tree attacking you, the sight of Dimril Dale and its beautiful lake and the mountains above it has raised your spirit so that you're willing to talk about those tales that now seem like wonderful, heroic events in the daylight as you approach Mirror and the door to Khazad-dûm. As you approach, there are dwarves out and about all around. They appear to be building fortifications within the valley to further perhaps deal with things coming up the valley or down from the Redhorn Pass. They greet you as you arrive with harsh words like, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
Greetings! As I step up again, because don't worry, I got this, guys.
Oh no.
You
Well,
know,
this
I
should be
believe in it.
interesting.
We can do this. We have the bonus to social interactions. No worries.
I've dealt with dwarves before. They can't get enough of me. I'm just great.
It is
Did
true,
he get hit on
Gundyr.
his head?
It is true, Gundyr, that this is the first group you've run into in a while that doesn't look very oddly at your helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% believe that he gets along with dwarves, and also this will probably be very entertaining. So I'm just gonna watch very curiously.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Greetings. I'm Gundyr. I'm a traveler throughout the Anduin Vale. We seek passage through the mountain to the western side.
Oh. Give me that persuasion roll there with advantage. I want to see us get that failed so I don't have to worry about it right away.
All right, well. With advantage, I still got a 16. 17
Okay.
minus 1, so.
Okay, that's more than enough. There, they hear doing, and they say that the great Durin of our Lord of this land has decided to welcome travelers who might bring interesting news and tales into his halls. For it
We
is
got that in spades.
so. If you bring such things, then all of you can come except the elves.
That's gonna be a hard.
Hey,
No. They're with us. It's like we are a package deal. They have better tales to tell than we do.
Can I draw
Tales.
upon my knowledge of dwarven, the very limited knowledge of dwarven tradition, or any historical encounters with dwarves to try and schmooze my way past this?
Yes, go right ahead. Although I wanted to note that I've got some tales here.
Oh, hey, that's much better. If it is, well, tradition and history have the same modifier for me. So, regardless of which one it goes under, that is a grand total of 22. Sorry. 21. Math.
Oh man, well that's. Oh, okay, no.
Shit, that was the DC!
No, as it turns out, it was less than 20, which was probably for the best. Because it's better that you come there without like being blindfolded and chained or something like that. The dwarves eventually say, "Well, we will, given that you are that you come with friends of the dwarves from Minas Tirith or from Gondor, and that you have such good stories, we will let Durin himself make the decision about the elves." They shepherd you through towards the doors of Khazad-dûm.
See, I told you we got this.
Yeah, that was completely easy.
Yep.
Now we just have to talk to Durin.
I was a little worried 'cause I thought I'd have to bribe him with mead, and I'm running real low.
Let's just not mention that I'm from Mirkwood specifically. Oh wait, all of my stuff screams that. We're good.
No. You'll be fine.
Put on this potato sack.
Just talk bad about your leader guy.
Just start talking mad shit about the random.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm
You
comfortable
just
with
gotta
that.
extend an olive branch.
What if we just
I mean, you
don't
obviously
talk
have
about-
disagreements with him.
What if we just don't talk about him at all? That would be
Yeah.
I think, not talking is the better choice.
I'm inclined to agree.
Oh, Gundyr, I believe in you for this, man.
Hey, I got this. It's all under control.
Until it's not.
Oh, famous last words.
God, why do you gotta be such a downer?
I'm a realist.
Yeah, you keep saying that, and yet all I hear is this isn't gonna work.
That is
gotta
what
have
realists
faith in
do.
my skills. You gotta have faith in my -1 charisma.
Oh god.
What could go wrong?
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
All right. So this is gonna be fun.
Well, here we are. You head into the halls, where you go through a door in the side of the mountain, essentially, and down some stairs, through some well-lit caverns, and eventually even across a really narrow bridge. It's kind of frightening. It goes like way down there. You wouldn't want to fall off there or have anybody you know
Man,
fall off of there.
Really suck if you fell off this thing.
You'd die for sure, right? There's no way you'd survive that.
Yeah.
And, and into the main halls of Dwarodelph itself, the great city beneath the mountain. As say, it's actually very well lit. There's gems sparkling along all the ways. It's a beautiful sight. It's one of the wonders of Middle Earth that very few people have a chance to see. And the dwarves themselves say that there will be a feast, because there's lots of feasts, I guess, and that you will be invited to speak with Durin himself, who is excited for those tales you may have brought.
Mm-hmm.
We do have tails, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah, remember when that spider? Remember that time I was
Spider bait.
accused of murder? Remember that time you guys dueled that orc?
You guys, you mean me? That was me.
Remember that time we fought a tree?
Yeah,
I still feel
that
it.
just happened right over there.
Yeah, it's like 3 nights ago.
Literally just
I'm
happened.
still,
Also, that time we fought a wraith. Like, dude, we got so many stories right now. It's crazy.
And if we have to be particularly impressive, Kellyan has faced a ring wraith and lived.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into that. They're not gonna remember it anymore.
We're not going to go into that story.
There's no point.
That's fair.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll get through the feast and then we'll see how things go. At the end of the feast, we'll make the audience roll, the traditions roll, to see how
oh.
much the king likes you. Right now, you're at advantage for that, though, so hopefully you can keep that through the session there.
Mhm.
The dwarven feast is of different food than you're used to, because it's the stuff that you would find down here. There's meats and fungus, so it sounds great. Mosses and the other things, and luckily there's lots and lots of ale.
Yes! Yes!
Ah, great.
It'll be fun. I'm still very good at traditions, so
If you're so good at traditions, then you're going to have to drink this ale. And I mean a lot of it.
but you know I don't like ale.
You have to.
Oh,
It's insulting to our hosts.
I look over at Nestriel. Just keep the same mug and sip throughout the night. I do that.
Cowards.
Gundyr, would you mind if I just switched tankards with you? You can have all of my ale if I get to keep your empty cups.
You mean I have twice as much ale?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the power.
The dwarves might be more receptive if they see you drinking their ale.
I mean, who's to say she hasn't? She's just giving him an empty flagon. You can't see inside it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep handing her empty cups and it'll be like she drank them. It's fine.
And she could put them in front of herself. It looks fine too.
It's like, man, then they'll be like, man, she can put away her ale. She's pretty good.
Hey, you guys remember that
I'll be drinking all
bit in the Lord of the Rings movies where Gimli and Legolas
And Legolas
have a
won.
drinking competition? Just saying.
I feel like Legolas has a much better constitution than I do.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you just put the empty tankards in front of you and call it a night.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
speaking
We'll
of
figure
that, before Durin gets involved, you all have one action of something you're doing at the Dwarven Feast. It's you and a lot of dwarves. They all look very similar because none of you are dwarves and can tell dwarves apart. The
Just wanna.
I can tell dwarves apart. I mean, look at that. That guy's got a shorter beard. That guy's got some blonde in his beard, which is kind of impressive. And that guy's got brass rings, so you know he's legit.
Yeah, you can tell them apart. They're easy enough, I suppose.
They don't all look alike.
I can't.
If they look like they do
Oh,
in the
gosh,
Hobbit.
why are
movies.
you doing this?
They can't-
That's real. You gotta let it go.
No, I probably can. I'm just distracted looking at architecture.
Okay, so that sounds like your action, Nestriel. I'm going to be distracted looking at architecture.
Yep, I'm looking at everything, but not actually paying attention to
It's okay,
people.
none of the dwarves really want to talk to you anyways, so you're
I
good.
figured.
Gundyr,
This way.
Oh, hey, Greg. Can I use my treasure hunter, my burglar ability, my treasure lore ability to know 3 things about treasures and/or what else do I learn about this?
I'll
Can
do
I learn
Gundyr
about
and
more yet?
I'll be right with you there with
Yeah.
your things to learn.
I'm just excited.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited for Gundyr to say the words, I decide to have a drinking contest with the dwarves. Am I going to get excited, Gundyr?
Yes, you're gonna get excited because I'm absolutely gonna go into it. This is how you earn respect.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
a vote from the other players. Is this a social interaction?
I think so.
Or
Oh,
like a combat?
Uh-oh.
It's
It's a
super
public event,
social
so
interaction.
it's 100%.
It's a public
It's a contest.
I'm also going to remind him of that time that I saw him drink an entire barrel of elf wine by himself that I brought him once, and he gets a d6.
Yes.
I clap him on the shoulder and say, "Kick their ass," and he gets another d6.
Ah.
We're determined.
Bunch of bonuses.
I say, don't
I,
die from alcohol poisoning.
Okay.
Don't bonus.
I will bring Gundyr his drinks, and every time he starts a new drink, I'll start up a new drinking song for everybody to sing along with.
Yes. Yes.
I'll
Okay,
just have a conversation with dwarves about, weaponry and mail and their process. Because why not?
things they won't remember later.
Exactly.
Right.
Gundyr, you should roll. You're at advantage because it's social. You're adding your Constitution save bonus, so if you're proficient in that, you can add that on. It's not Constitution
As a
save,
barbarian,
essentially.
yes.
Although it's a
Very
contest,
nice.
so you're just trying to beat their number. They're rolling at advantage because there's a lot of dwarves, and that feels like an
Right.
advantage.
Right. Yes, that is mostly an advantage. All right. Well, that is a lot. So, 18.
I do believe.
That's gonna be 32. With those extra d6s.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Air high five.
So the dwarves with advantage managed to roll 2 9s, which seems very human of them. If, as a Lord of the Rings joke,
Right.
just for those of you who get that,
Right? Yeah.
but also human like them. They lose to a human in drinking contest, as Gundyr is drinking people under the table for sure. Inspired by stories of Kellyan and understanding how best to manage his liquor from Nestriel, he has done a wonderful job of drinking some dwarves under the table.
Yeah.
That will go over well. That's a +1 to your audience roll right there.
Woo!
That in there. Willid, your 3 things.
Yeah.
You get just 3 things about treasure. If I got that, remember, I've done this before.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look under the burglar treasure lore. Whenever you're told a particular location or chance across, you may ask the lore master for 3 pieces of information regarding that locale. This information is usually a mixture of particular treasures and obstacles. Information gleaned may be taken as generally true, although details may be fuzzy and key bits omitted.
Okay. So this is where you really know a lot about Mithril, just to be clear, right? This is where they get it. It's the only source of it. It's the most valuable substance on the planet. You're currently surrounded by it, where the jewels around are not the most valuable thing here, but the Mithril that they're wearing. Durin's going to walk in here in a second, and he's got like some serious Mithril armor on and the whole lot. And you know that like his axe is an ancient artifact, been around, forged by the dwarves at the beginning of the First Age. So that's a big piece of treasure. If you wanted, his axe would be like probably the most valuable thing here. Also, the most likely to get an army of dwarves to chase you down.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
It's just those things might go hand in hand. I don't know. Dangers of Khazad-dûm. Mostly you haven't heard there are many. I mean, it seems like the dwarves have cleared this out. There's still rumors that there might still be orcs and or trolls, cave trolls, or cave worms that live deep in the depths. But you're not going to go down to the deeps of the depths, so you're not too worried about it. And I'll reiterate thing I'm pretty sure I said last session, which is that the west door has been closed after the Second Age. So as far as you're aware, the dwarves don't go out that door that you guys want to go out.
Why not?
I'm sure they'll
Perfect.
be fine.
I'm sure they'll give us a pass.
Maybe it's just stuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Allred, doing
So,
anything
like, some
exciting during the
monster
feast?
on the other side.
I think I'm just gonna try to have like a nice little stroll with Gliriel, like a little romantic stroll with her.
Oh,
I mean, it's like candlelight, but way brighter.
Yeah. We'll try to, admire the dwarven architecture.
Get it, all red. Get it.
You get a little. Oh, he's drunk, right?
Yeah.
I'm the grand champion, Khazad-dûm. Can you dig it?
I feel like there's a title coming for Gundyr here. I'm not sure exactly how to word it yet. We'll get there. Kellyanne, you talked about you wanted to do about how they
Like the
forge
social
things.
thing.
So
Yeah.
you learn 2 things. One, dwarves don't really like to tell non-dwarves about how they do things. And 2, they really, really like to talk about what they do and
Right.
brag about their stuff. So you don't necessarily get too much of the, I forged it 3 times and then folded it once or whatever for their stuff.
No.
But they talk a lot about here how their grandfather made this thing that was the most beautiful ever and those types of things. So you get a history of dwarven smithcraft.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You should be drinking, but that's fine.
It's an interesting culture that
Light
develops
sips.
around craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot of stuff. Making some friends, maybe. Oh, wait, they won't remember me. That's right.
Well, they're definitely very keen at telling you things, and they look forward to being able to tell you them again without knowing they're repeating their story.
Great.
It's to their advantage, not yours.
Right. Sips
but-
on ale.
Along with Nestriel, who's doing the architecture, you definitely get a greater understanding of kind of how dwarves really do view, as Lily was saying there, the craftsmanship is kind of the core of their existence and why they're here, and the building of things, the making of beautiful things. That's what they're doing. When Durin calls upon you to come forth, O visitors from the land above.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm super.
Does he know? Hey, wait, guys. Does he know we met with Galadriel?
Probably not.
I mean, how often do they talk?
I don't know.
Maybe
can
don't
always
bring it up.
Oh.
Okay, I won't. I've got her book that she gave me. Don't show it to him. Got it.
I'm gonna push Willard forward.
Yeah, no, I can. It's great. They'll like me. I think hobbits and dwarves get along.
I think
Yeah.
Gundyr is doing a good job. I think he should keep going.
Yeah, let me keep going. I
Gunther
got this
doesn't know
under
left from right at this
control.
point.
I
Yep.
know if I left from my right, he looks at the wrong hands. I scroll forward confidently.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, we'll let him, I guess, do his thing. We're just gonna have to apologize, and we're not gonna have to apologize. They'll understand immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
I keep hearing that.
He has had this so far.
So far, he's doing a better job than we are.
Tell me of the tales and what you know of the lives that are going on outside of our home. I, Durin, have
Well-
spoken.
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. The orcs are moving out and about, causing some problems and mayhem. We managed to defeat a group of orcs, steal the ancient thing that they were trying to transport and take it away from them. We traveled further south, ran into spiders, and eventually captured one and brought it to Saruman the Wise. We've unfoiled a plot to assassinate people in Gondor. We fought cursed trees. Is that the right word for it? I guess. Many battles have been fought, and many foes have been slain by our hands. And if there's anything else you want to know, feel free to ask.
Well, my short friend, he turns to Willard, who's also, up front there. These grand boasts that the drunk makes, are they true?
Yeah, actually, I feel like he toned it down a little bit. Like he's being very humble, and I don't know why.
I mean, that's the whole point, Will. It is that you start off small and then you like let them know, like, oh well, I guess I'm also more of a
Yeah,
bad.
I know you were busy drinking the whole time, but did you hear any of the dwarves in the bar talking? Hyperbole is the name of the game here, and you can meet a realistic standard.
I think you lose advantage as soon as you use hyperbole in
Don't-
the
don't use
dwarven
that
presence.
Big word.
I'm just whistling. This is just my lord. What you have here in front of you are 4 heroes of the land. You have Allred, who challenged an orc chieftain to single combat and bested him, even after the orcs cheated and started fighting amongst bringing friends into the fight. And you have Kellyan, the one who stood up against, dare I say it, a Nazgul and survived.
Oh, can feel Kellyan's glare turn at Willard.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm going at it.
Do it. Do it. Keep
He lost in the
grasping.
moment.
Keep
So I didn't know.
grasping.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. My bad. And we have
Don't forget
Nestrio,
anyways.
one of the best elves I've ever known to be alive. She is a famous healer. Bring forth someone who is sick, and she will show you her powers. And then finally, we have Gundar, who should be known to you, as he roams nearby. Gundar, what shit? What you? Oh, sorry. He single-handedly is responsible for us being able to catch that giant spider, bigger than me, and haul it back to the wizard Saruman.
It was bigger than me.
I think we're also forgetting another important part of our group. And I looked down at William. he has been instrumental into like every single encounter we've done. A master of shadows, he darts in the dark and attacks everybody, like attacks our enemies, and keeps them on their toes. If it wasn't for him, none of us would be here today.
More importantly, he is a man who is willing to be bait.
A hobbit.
That is true. Hobbits make good bait. I guess it's just a thing.
We couldn't have gotten that spider without you dangling yourself basically on a stick.
And he did that with a great amount of courage that none could have done.
Not
in
in
the
what
face
they
of
would
danger.
call lucky.
That was really ballsy, man. I loved that.
Well, Durin says, these are grand tales that are exactly what we like to celebrate here with our feasts in Khazad-dûm. But tell me, there's one thing that I find difficult to believe, and that is that these elves that you bring with us also display such courage and bravery, for that is not my understanding of elves.
Then it is fair.
Kellyanne, allow
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Durin, do you happen to know of the great? Oh shit! Hold on, I have to go open my backstory because I forgot her name because we haven't talked about the spider in a while. Do you know of the spawn of flipping back in my histories? Nope.
Was this another spawn of Ungoliant?
Another spot of Ungoliant.
Ungoliant, that's right. Do you
Yeah.
know of the spawn of Ungoliant? The dread spider?
That's a good question. Does he?
If he doesn't, this is gonna
Oh,
require
yes,
a
he does.
Okay.
Yay! My kinsman and I, me and one other, his name is Legolas, once fought and defeated a daughter of Ungoliant in southern Mirkwood after a few days of travel. It was quite a fight. There were thousands of smaller spiders, hundreds of spiders much larger even than I that we slew in our journeys, and ended up finding Radagast the Brown in her lair. Her name specifically is Sinrath. Oh my god.
Again, that's the English translation. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're looking for the Elfish.
Oh my god. They were looking for the Elvish. It's,
Senanthara. Because
which translates roughly in English to, oh shit, a big fucking spider.
she called herself a spider queen, and although the encounter did nearly claim my life, I have come out of it both wiser and more humbled by the dangers around me.
I see that such a tale would be worthy of the battles of old. You are welcome to Khazad-dûm. And then he starts in on some other speech. But Willard, you should be making I think Willard, right, is making our traditions roll. He did.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You're at advantage.
Can you Yeah.
Here we go. Hup, hup. Oh. 13.
Okay,
With
so
my rousing speech that I had, it probably boosted him a little bit more. So add a d6 to that.
Yeah. There you go.
17.
okay, so the target number for all of you to succeed was 12. So you were there. The
Oh.
target number for him to accept the elves was 15.
Woo!
So luckily, Kellyanne pushed you over the limit there with that. So that's good. As he does his speech, he does his thing, and then sends you back to your table. Everything seems good, and you see Durin wandering over towards your table later that evening.
Oh shit, does he want to share a drink with me? Hell yeah. I look super excited to see him and offer him a seat next to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, Your Majesty, welcome to our humble table.
It has been many, many years since I sat and shared a drink with some elves.
I mean, I get that. It's like, but you're also sharing a drink with the Northmen.
What is it that you desire from your journey here at Khazad-dûm?
We're trying to make our way west. We
Ah.
we found that going under the mountains probably the safest route.
Well, that seems like elves are one of the topics then. For the last time I dealt with elves, I decided I wouldn't do it again, and I shut the door to the west.
Mm.
Because
Ah.
the elves, we used to trade with the elves, but that is history. Still, it might be appropriate since you brought some of the long-lived folk that that you do travel that way, for I've had it on good word from our scouts that direction that things have not gone well at the West Gate. That perhaps even some darkness or shadow or monster has crept up to the edge of the gates and is now barring them just as much as our doors. But you are heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You fought great spiders and cursed trees and orc captains. I am sure that you can do me a small service for your passage, and that is to clear whatever it is that has grown dark at the west end.
Do you have
What
any rumors or any like idea of what is on the other side?
It is a creature of foul water, from my understanding.
Whatever evil lies at the west end, we will vanquish it.
Yeah, with more information if we can.
Well, good. Then you may rest and recover here as much as you desire while we prepare a escort to the west gate for you. Drink and
This guy's great.
be merry.
Yeah.
That's very
King
kind of
Jordan.
you.
I need give me another one. Just like, just leave
Far
the,
be it-
the whole thing.
Far be it for me to insert myself where I may not be wanted, but if you would perhaps desire a reopening of trade negotiations with the elves of the West, being an elf, they might be more willing to listen to me and patch up whatever it is that went awry so long ago. It would be a shame if all of the history and knowledge and technical expertise of you and your clansmen would be lost.
Well, if you find yourself in the Linden, the Grey Havens, then perhaps I would be welcome. I have seen recently with the shadow growing that it is perhaps more important that us dwarves pay a little attention to what happens outside our doors.
I will do what I can.
You can definitely thank Joel for this, because his Dern is way less xenophobic than the real Dern.
Thank you,
Yay!
Joel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joel.
Oh,
Shout out to Joel.
super
Right.
nervous about this whole thing. I was very much expecting to not be allowed to dine with anyone.
Nope, so far so good. And with that, actually, you now technically have a small fellowship phase in a sanctuary.
That seems
Uh,
safe.
So this is actually where you get to use your hit dice to heal up and stuff. But I think
know,
most of you
right?
have done that. If you haven't
Yeah,
already, you
well-
now can.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that because I'm hurt real bad.
Mhm,
How many
mhm.
days was the travel to here? Was it just the one day or was it more?
From since the tree,
Yeah, since the tree beat down.
I mean, I don't know. Does it matter?
Healing wise?
Well, in healing perspective, it's not per day. You get it's different than normal D&D, where your long rest is usually your night.
Got it.
In Adventures in Middle Earth, our long rest is usually at the end of each journey, but not necessarily, because it might, unless it's a place that you can actually rest. So there's definitely a level of attrition associated with these. So it's always good to go from sanctuary to sanctuary to maximize your healing.
Yep.
Got it. All
Kind
right,
of.
so then I need a lot of heals, man.
Well, you get to roll your hit dice here
Yeah.
for sure.
Luckily, all those D12s certainly help.
Yay, we're healed.
I'm sure you won't need any of those hit points at all at the Westgate.
Nope.
Mhm.
Yep.
Nope.
That sounds silly.
Why would-
Other things, spending some time here, you can remove a shadow point
Woo!
for your sanctuary if you want. Gundyr, instead of the shadow point, you can get yourself a dwarven title.
Yes, I'll take a
Whoa.
dwarven title.
It's got to be something like bottomless ale in dwarven. I don't know. Stone gut. That sounds pretty dwarven. Gundyr Stone Gut.
Gundyr Stone Gut. Oh, I love it.
It's your dwarven title.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
What even is poison?
Certainly not related to alcohol.
At least where Gundyr is concerned.
It's like drinking water.
Yep, just like water.
Well, there's plenty of more drunken nights for Gundyr and the dwarves here as you prepare. He does pretty good, though, so I think that should work out for him.
Yes.
There's still definitely some cold standoffish among the for the elves.
I mean,
Um,
that's gonna happen.
the Hobbit and Gundyr certainly are very well accepted. Allred, we did bring your horse, which seems like a horrible idea. They're like, "Are you bringing that?"
Yes.
Like, I mean, alternatively, we could just eat it.
Oh,
That's tastier and easier to get through the mines.
Oh man.
That will never happen. He is my companion.
Dude, man,
Yeah.
those horse lords, man, they and their horses, they're partners.
what's your horse's name again?
Dustcart.
Duskcart.
Duskar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, remember, come on, it's important.
I feel like after that interaction, Allred probably doesn't have a particularly high opinion of the dwarves, as he's currently dating an elf, and they asked to eat his horse.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't doubt that he's gonna. I mean, I wish they wouldn't talk shit about the elves, because the elves are all right, but
You threatened to eat one of them.
it's like, but they're the hate between the elves and dwarves is like, like 1,000 years older than I am. So
Well,
Is there a means to like replenish my arrows while we're here?
shopping?
you
Yeah.
Yes,
shop.
you can replenish your arrows.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
willing to give you anything too exciting, and in general, they use bolts more than arrows here because they're dwarves.
That's true.
But you
They're
can
dwarves.
get some that they've got lying around that like they used to train young dwarves or something.
Just like sharpen them up and stuff. Okay, cool. Because I was running low.
I don't suppose they'd be willing to give me some. I don't suppose they'd be willing to give me like a dwarven great axe.
Not yet. Nope.
Damn it. Well,
I
can
mean,
I at least get some more hand axes? Because I lost two of them in a tree.
Yeah, I kind of need a spear or two.
Yeah, we ran out. They're still attached to that tree somewhere.
they are more than willing to sell you those items, so you can.
All right, cool.
You'll
Who
buy
can
them.
spot me some money?
That's whatever your current wealth thing that it does, right? It disappears for this session.
Yeah, I'll buy a couple of hand axes then.
So no buying things on the journey, I guess. Where are you guys headed? Rivendell? I hear they've got some great market there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put the bill for you.
Bustling market in Rivendell.
That's for the next session, anyways, right?
Right.
Thank you, Nestriel. We haven't been paid for anything we've done lately,
Well, that kind of happens when you're busy doing
Well-
good.
except for the assassination attempt.
That is true. But I think we donated that money to the family with the
Yes.
broken card.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, you now have. To be fair, the hand axes and spear that you've got here are probably better than the ones you had.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not mithril; they're just steel, but they're
Right.
still dwarven forged and high quality. But not enough to give any mechanical advantage to your character.
Just
Right,
looks spiffy,
But you could
Can
probably
I-
sell it for more.
right?
Alred, since I am footing the bill, can you also purchase a dwarven-made dagger for me?
Of course.
I don't think they would sell it to me if I asked, but if you,
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
thank you.
Okay.
I don't know why. What's wrong with the hand axe I gave you?
I mean, I didn't think you'd let me keep it.
I'm gonna let you keep it.
Then I have a hand axe and a dagger.
All right. Well, that's fine as long as you keep the hand axe, because that was a gift.
I appreciate it, Edwinor.
Better appreciate it.
Okay, so after a week or so of hanging out with dwarves, they're prepared to send you an expedition to the west through the mines.
Yes.
The
Oh
mom.
my God, super easy. Through the mines is just gonna be a pleasant walk to the west end.
Yeah, right. Like, and then when we get to the west end, we get to have a west end story.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh.
I love it.
It's the sharks and something else that we're fighting in the water. I forget.
Rockets or something.
The shards and the jets.
Yeah.
The Jets.
right.
That's right. Okay, my
Rocket
knowledge of
Rocket
West End
Song.
story was reaching its end.
Right. We proceed to the west end, snapping our fingers.
You're gonna jet there, and there's gonna be some sharks. And anyways. No, it's not all like that. It's mostly along. I mean, the mines are area where it's less lit, although there's still plenty of dwarves coming and going along the paths that you got there. There are some like mountain pony type things they use down here to like haul stuff as well. So it's not like Duskheart is the only four-legged creature, but he's way bigger than any of them. And by the time you get there, already you're going to need to make an animal handling check.
Okay. no
Luckily, you're probably good at that.
problem. Yep. I got advantage. 24 will probably be okay.
Yep, that's plenty to avoid any incident on your way through the mines. And as you're occasionally, though, your horse gives you that look like another set of stairs. Really, another set of stairs. I'm gonna buck you off at some point just for this.
Oh, I feel real bad.
While we're going through, can I buy like a dwarven pipe?
Sure,
Yeah.
everyone needs their souvenir from Khazad-dûm,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's right.
Khazad-dûm.
What are the odds at least two of us are never getting in here again? Pretty
mean-
good.
You and Kellyan, absolutely. Never mind. Okay,
I mean, one of you at least has an excuse not to have made an impression.
Haha.
At least one of you.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh boy.
Y'all are going to be famous.
no. Don't
No, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen, Kelly. And we're gonna break your curse, and you're gonna be famous.
do you think when your curse is
Okay.
broken, like all the memories that disappeared will rush back? or if they'll just start
Ah.
remembering you from there. I just
I
said
heard-
that.
Maybe.
If it was a perfect world and Kellyanne actually would not die in this in this at all, it would be everything from the past coming back too. But she's not a hopeful person anymore.
I don't know why.
I'm not convinced she ever was.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
Okay, well, that's it for hanging out with dwarves. The fun, exciting role-playing part of the session. Not that there's combat coming up, I'm sure. But anyways, you get to the west end,
Yeah.
and there's some doors. The dwarves like, oh, yep, we're here, and they open up a big set of doors. And on the other side of it is kind of like a valley full of mist.
Yeah, this isn't like ominous whatsoever.
No, not
We're
at
going to
all.
stay up here and watch, they say. At least for a little bit.
Yeah, you
Could,
guys
could you get some crossbows loaded?
Badass.
Well, yeah, we've got crossbows loaded.
Good, good.
Great.
Just don't shoot us by accident.
Yeah, I think have I heard of this place before?
The mirror.
Not really. I mean, this is the West End. I mean, you've heard of it. But it's in theory, this was just the road to Holland, where the elves used to be.
Mhm.
From your lore. So this used to be a well-traveled trade route, but it hasn't been for about 1,500 years.
Oof.
So that's probably
that all?
plenty of time for bad things to have happened.
Mhm.
It's probably true.
Yep, I will.
Remind me, I need to roll for time of day.
Don't forget to roll for time of day.
It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Hey, at least it's daytime.
so it's still
Mhm.
daytime out.
Should we just stay here with our backs against the wall before we set out in the morning?
I think Galadriel's book says something about this place. Let me make a history check.
You're so smart.
Look at you and your books.
Oh, nothing useful. I got a 10.
Oh,
Look
Well,
at you and your ability to
See,
read.
you're looking at the wrong page. It's if this gives him advantage, that would be awesome because I'm trying to help.
I already have advantage.
Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Great job.
I tried to be smooth. It didn't work.
Still good things. No. Got my back.
Along our journey with these dwarves to this door, did we get any more information from them about whatever is on the other side?
Yeah, there used to just be a path, but now there's a big lake there that's kind of dark and ugly and gives you a bad feeling, and we're pretty sure there's something moving in it.
All right. Does that sound like any shadowborn creature I know of?
Can any of you elves breathe water? I've heard that. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. Totally, my mom told me that story. You're just making that up. Anyways, dwarven banter. There was some question about whether you knew anything about shadow that might be in here. Feel free to roll shadow lore.
Estriel, can you breathe underwater?
I can't.
Okay, well.
Yeah, but have you ever tried?
I've never
18.
Technically, no.
technically no.
But how do you know?
Okay, in 18,
I mean, have you tried to breathe underwater?
you don't
No, it hurt my nose.
get a lot. You definitely get the impression that it,
You know that you can't breathe underwater.
from what the dwarves said, that there might be. This is sort of a sign of shadow, but you're not like in a traditionally evil place or anything, so you don't have any idea of what water shadow creatures might be.
Can I sense him at all?
Well, how close are you to the lake?
Not that close.
Not yet.
How about a 26 on shadow lore?
Aha, better.
I know things.
You have heard that down in the depths of the world there are things that perhaps creations from the first age of Morgoth that have grown in the dark waters of the world beneath there, those that escaped Angbad originally underground, and that it's possible that some of those might have worked their way up into the surface water, but that would be really, really unlikely. Though-
I repeat that to the group.
You got a 26, so I will say that those things are. You have heard that things like that are dark and full of teeth and tentacles.
I'll add
That
that.
sounds like something I want to fight.
Just in case any of you were wondering how this was going to go.
Do the dwarves have like some sort of like fuel or something that they use for their torches?
Yes.
Can I have some of that? Like, you know, like soaked rags or whatever.
You know, we have a return journey we have to do here.
Yeah, and I have to stay alive too, so
You know,
You
we have a
can-
monster to fight.
you can
Well,
sacrifice.
yeah, but
a
that's your
little-
specialty, right? Our specialty is light and caves.
Yeah, but you're good at finding yourselves through. the
Okay,
caves
okay,
with
here, have a
hard
flask
ones.
of oil.
Okay, thank you.
Oh boy, dwarves. So fun.
Ugh. Maybe we should just close the door. Tall people.
I thought you wanted to watch.
I mean,
We're
closing
talking
the
about it.
door would certainly guarantee your safety in the coming battle, though your participation may instead prove your bravery.
And there might be some tales told in the
I-
halls of your bravery.
I feel like dwarves are vulnerable to like any of that, so that absolutely works. You know. Oh no, we're definitely braver than any elf.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Durin's word that the elves need to solve this problem, we'd be down there doing it ourselves. But you know, that's what the Great Thane said.
Of course.
So get on with it then. There, we want to see if you elves are out have that courage as well.
Which is ironic because I'm a non-combat elf.
All right, I look
fine.
over at Gundyr and Allred. So
So what?
It's a lake. I don't. You want us to wade in there?
What do you want me to do? Like,
hold on, maybe I get a little bit of like the oil and I put it on a rag and I tie it to the arrow. Maybe this looks their attention, huh?
yeah. I throw a rock into the lake.
Okay, so you guys have to go down the hill a little bit from the door to get to the lake, right? But you can see it. The whole valley, despite it being afternoon, seems to be covered in kind of a cool mist, and
Yeah.
makes distant work hard. So, like ranged combat outside of short or close range is going to be a disadvantage. Currently, and when you get down there, Kellyanne, definitely the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Just I'm gonna leave my horse near the door. I don't want Deskart near. You know, he's not a lake creature.
Tread carefully, guys.
I mean,
So I rolled a decision die, and I got odds, which means Nestriel is just going to start walking towards the water, looking for stuff, but not drawing any weapons, just investigating stuff.
I'm going to
Making sure
stick.
everybody goes with her.
I'm sticking by
I-
her side.
Since I am here to help Nestriel for the most part, I will assist in looking around a little bit.
Because there's something around here.
Though it does creep me out, so I do kind of distance. But if Nestriel can get that close, I feel like Willett has pretty quick reaction time, so I think he'll be okay.
So
Dear.
as you approach the lake, there's a big plump as Gundyr starts throwing rocks. And right next to you, kind of a splash.
Monster.
Ah,
What are you waiting for?
Oh, this is gonna end well.
I mean, I think that we're just going to roll initiative here because that's the equivalent of reacting to things you all think are going to happen anyways.
Right.
Yeah!
So,
Oof.
I wasted a natural 20, guys. It's great.
oh wow,
That's wasting.
look at that.
That's not really how statistics works, but that's okay.
but it's how it feels, and that's what matters.
Right. Where you want to roll d20 when you're hitting things versus, when you're trying to get yourself on an initiative ladder.
They're not a limited resource; they're a rare resource. The difference, I guess. Speaking of rare resources, your Watcher in the Water thing got a 1. So, like, you guys are all like, oh, is something going to happen? And then, like, off to the side, like, a tentacle slowly emerges and dangles itself out of the water looking at you. And then another one, slowly, ponderously, they move your direction.
He was tired when we woke him up.
Yeah, it's middle of the day. He was in a nap. Like, oh man, I've got people to eat.
Oh, damn.
I didn't know.
Ugh, not again. All right.
Yeah, I shoot at it.
So everybody's going to get. I'm sure every one of you is going to go faster than it because it doesn't actually have a dex bonus either on top of rolling a 1. So, so yeah, it's going on 1 very slowly. Kellyanne, you got your 20, so I'll let you go first. And you're going to, you take an arrow and shoot towards a tentacle?
Yeah, a fiery arrow towards the tentacle.
Okay, because of mist and tentacle, I'll call that disadvantage.
All right.
I believe in you.
Let's see here. That my lowest was a 10. 11, 13. And that's an evil thing, right?
It is, in fact, an evil thing.
Yay! So I got a 14.
That does not hit.
Oof.
Yep, I got this, guys.
Whoosh. You shoot a flaming arrow into the lake.
Well, at
Sizzle.
least we know where it's not.
That does extra damage to the lake, to be fair, because fire versus water, right? That's
Right.
Yep,
Obviously, fire wins.
Causes
Perfect.
damage to the lake.
okay. Who is next after Kellyanne? Anyone in like the high 20s,
No, I got a 19.
low 20s, 19, 19? Gundyr, 19.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the lake like an idiot and start chopping this thing's tentacles.
Axes are great underwater weapons too. So
They
Gundyr
really are.
comes sprinting by Willett and Nestriel and Kellyanne, I think, that were in the front there, jumps into the water with axe in hand, waving his way towards a tentacle as if like, oh yeah, sure, I'll come grab you. Give me a roll on versus tentacle.
Roll versus tentacle. Yeah, all right. Let's see what I get. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
That does hit. I know you're all happy about that.
Whoa.
That's going to be 15 points of damage.
Okay. You get to hit it again, I assume, because
Yes.
you're that level.
Oh, yeah, that's 24 to hit.
Also hits.
And that's going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay, you
I'm
do in
also-
fact cut a tentacle in
Also
half there,
Nice.
and it kind of slithers back under the surface. That one.
Chop, chop.
The other one is still showing itself, so there are 2 at the moment.
Well,
18,
That for
17.
Someone else.
I got 16.
So did I.
Hey, you 2 got the same initiative last combat too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Twinsies.
You can go
ah.
first this time.
Yeah, we'll let Alred go
Yay,
first
thanks.
this time.
All right. I am going to activate my Battle Fury. I might as well charge in, and why not? I'll attack recklessly. What could go wrong?
Give it advantage.
The joy of barbarians.
25 will hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be real bad when one of the NPCs dies.
How about a 16?
16 does not hit.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
As a
All right,
side
I'll
note,
hack at it with my.
oop,
Yep.
we got some echo going there. So The Glirial, has her new ability, which allows her to take a shot at the very beginning of combat, regardless of what's going on. So I'm going to do that.
I'll roll some damage with my sword.
Oh, okay. Look at that. So Allred, as you charge in, an arrow flies by and buries itself with a critical hit into
Yay.
the arrow or into the tentacle ahead of you. Okay. How much damage did you do, Allred? 16? Is that what I heard?
No. Yeah, I did 16. No, I did 8 damage.
8. You're not wielding a great axe, sorry.
No, I'm not. One-handed thingy.
You need a great axe.
You do get 2 attacks, though.
Yeah, the second one missed. I rolled a 16.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Willard.
I'm gonna back up to get out of harm's way, and I shout for Nestriel to back up, get away from the water. And then I pull out a arrow and I look for a place to hide, run over and make a hide check. Use my cunning action. Make a hide check.
Yes. Okay.
22. And then I'm going to try and attack it. And then do I have advantage or not?
You have advantage, but you also have disadvantage, so you have normal.
Normal.
That does not count for your sneak attack.
I got a 25? Yeah,
Well, that'll
25.
hit.
And then there's my... Do I have an ally within 5 feet, I think is the rule, right?
For what?
For sneak attack damage?
No, your sneak attack is...
requires you to have advantage.
Yes.
Except, well, I'm pretty sure that if you have a... I mean... I don't
One-
know.
Giving you sneak attack on a ranged attack is already pushing the rules.
Okay.
So, we'll... And the 5-foot rule is, I think, a layover from earlier editions.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think, well, it's new to 5. I'm pretty sure it's new to 5e back in the day. I don't remember exactly how you could do it.
Okay.
Did a sneak tank. But it doesn't matter. I got 8 points of damage.
That leaves Kelly... No, that leaves Nestriel. And...
Hey, what are the odds? I'm totally gonna hit. Nice. I don't hit. But I shoot an arrow, so I'm trying.
You're attacking the water,
Yep. That's what I saw Kellyanne do.
right?
And I'll back up to be next to Willard.
If I survive this, I need to train you in combat.
Look, I know how to fight. I'm just not particularly good at it. My calluses wear off very quickly because I spend so much time. You know, we can argue about this later.
Very fair skin.
Glirial puts puts an arrow, one of 2 arrows into a tentacle on her turn.
Yeah,
And-
step up, Glitch.
And then
Are you
it's...
talking shit together?
No, I'm just saying.
I feel
Double
like
in
you're talking
paradise.
shit. See
There-
if I heal him again.
On a 1, on initiative 1,
You know I love you.
there is a horrid kind of roar screech that echoes through the valley. It comes off of the water as you can see this massive toothed head with tentacles coming all over it, sort of breach the water about 30 feet offshore. Before there were just a couple tentacles. Now there's tentacles everywhere that you can see. And they're gonna start grabbing people.
Damn.
Let's see here. People in the water are Gundyr and Allred, as usual. We know you're getting grabbed.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we'll do you 2 first.
we're gonna be fine.
Yep. Fine.
Okay, Gundyr, 16 misses, right?
Yes, it does.
What about an 18 for Allred?
Yeah. No, that'll hit me.
Okay. It grabs you with horrific strength and and picks you up. You are grappled and take 20 points of damage.
Oh,
Uh,
guys.
my
So
my
rethink it.
battle fury should cut that in half, right?
Yes.
It will.
Yep, it's
That's
totally
still,
bludgeoning damage.
That's still a lot of damage, though.
Hey, I'm fine.
Kelly, and you were also on the shore, correct?
Yep, I was.
And you would rather you got attacked than Willett or Nestriel, so here it is.
Yeah. Yay. This is great, guys. It's fine.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
That's going to hit you.
That's
Unless your armor class is 30. We had this conversation earlier, right? No.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
The
But
Right.
so you also take the 20 points of damage and grappled as it picks you up.
Ooh, doggy. Okay.
you're gonna be fine.
That's less good.
It's fine.
That's not a doggy.
Thank you for that astute observation, Willard. It was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really excited where this is going. Glad to
Okay.
be part of it.
It's okay. I waited on everything, so I guess I waited on my legendary action too.
Wait, what?
So one other picks up a boulder from a nearby part of the lake and chucks it at I think Nestriel and Willett are kind of near each other. You're both making a dexterity save to get out of the way of the boulder. Let's see, what's our...
Hey,
Okay. It looks like 16 is your target number. That's not too bad.
17.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, way to go!
Oh, thank God I roll well.
Not good enough.
Uh-oh.
Willett, you
Your
are...
inspiration?
Yeah, I was kicked out.
8.
8.
Who rolled what again? You rolled an 8.
Got an
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, he got an 8.
You must be as swift as a coursing river
Listen,
and as fierce as a great typhoon. 1d.
I don't know if that's going to help any.
D6 isn't enough.
I'll spend it, but I don't know if that's going to help.
I don't know if 6 is gonna be enough.
You never know.
Oh,
It's up to you, Christina.
I mean, you could save it for later if you want.
All right. Yeah, I can choose to save it, right? I'll save it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to go up enough.
okay.
for later.
So Willett, you take also 20 points of damage from getting slammed by a boulder and knocked back away from your position.
I am going to use my Uncanny Dodge ability,
Yes.
and I'm only going to take 10 points of damage.
Way to go.
Ow. Good dodge, Nestriel.
Yep.
Okay. I'm only slightly distracted by Kitten. The it is top of the round, so Kellyanne, it's back to your turn. You are grappled by a tentacle.
Can I like break it somehow? Can I like take out one of my daggers and stab it so it can drop me or something?
It does not look like it got your arms, so yes, you can attack it if you want. You're considered restrained.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack it.
Okay.
All right, that is 17, 23. Yep, 23.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay, and like I can only get my like dagger out, or can I actually use my long sword?
We'll let you use longsword. It didn't get your arms. You're hacking at a big tentacle.
8 plus 2 is 10.
Okay. You get a second
it-
attack. Do you?
That's right. I do. 20!
Oh, hey, look
Oh
at
my
that.
goodness. Oh my goodness. This is great. I'm excited.
And on an attack roll, no less.
Right? Which is
Yeah.
not common.
Go.
Luckily, you used up all of your. Wait, never
It's
mind.
like what I was saying.
Right. All right. I don't even know what to do with a natural 20, guys. Holy cow.
Kill things faster.
Roll twice the dice for damage.
Yay.
Critical hits are pretty good for critical successes.
12 and that, 13, 14. All right. That is 14.
Okay, so combined between those two blows, you actually cut the tentacle off.
All right. Great. Am I,
And so
like,
you're no
what-
longer grappled,
Okay.
which is good because, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it gets around
hurts.
to, eating and throwing things like player characters.
Mhm.
Okay, Gundyr, you're next. You
Oh,
did not get
sweet.
grabbed, if I recall.
I did not. I'm still on the ground, although Allred's been grabbed, so I'm going to try and target that tentacle that grabbed Allred.
Sure.
Aw, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, that's going to be an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, good.
All right, I think we have a target number.
That's going to be 15 points of damage. And then second attack, 19 plus 7, so 26. That's definitely going to hit. Woo! For max damage of 18 points.
Nice.
There wasn't a lot of that tentacle left to hit.
Right.
You do, in fact, manage to cut the tentacle in half. You two are now standing in a bunch of water filled with ichor, and
Right.
as blood has been flowing from the severed tentacles, but more tentacles still seem
Right.
to come.
I mean, that's fine. Now Allred can get up and slash tentacles.
Yeah.
And it's pretty annoyed at the whole thing, so it's going to use its legendary action again to throw another boulder at the two of you. Both make dex checks.
Of course. you would.
We're so
that's
good at these, aren't we?
so bad. That's so mean. Come on.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
15?
Okay, so side note, this is just like when Gundyr was throwing rocks into the water. It's also throwing rocks into the water. So not only does Gundyr and Allred take 20 points of bludgeoning damage from a boulder. Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
You-
Allred got pinned under the rock under the water,
Oh, great. Perfect.
where he can't breathe.
No, that's not fine.
So yeah, that's a thing. You guys have tons of hit points. You're fine, I'm sure. Okay.
Look, man, you've got advantage on strength saving throws right now. You can get that rock
I
off.
do. And I think that's what I'm going to have to spend my turn doing, is getting this boulder off of me.
Well, it is your
Yeah,
turn.
So,
So
yeah, I think I'll do that.
It's your turn to get the
Uh,
ball off of you.
So, assuming I do get advantage on this, I'll go ahead and make a strength check here.
yes.
Is this a saving throw or just a straight strength check?
I think it's a saving throw, but
Yeah,
basically-
saving throw target number 18.
Oh, is that all? Well, I got a 25.
There
Yeah.
you go.
All right.
You heave that boulder right off you.
I
good to be in a
stand up
berserk.
and cough out some water.
Some black foul water trickles from his mouth.
Ugh, tis horrible.
Sure
Better than
does.
that ale, though. No. I imagine that's what I can do for this round.
Yes, we're moving on to Willett.
All right, so clearly my hiding spot is not great, and it can almost hit both of us with one of those rocks. So I'm going to separate and find a different hiding spot and try to wedge down in, take some cover from this thing, and then maybe try to shoot. See if there's a mass
There is absolutely a head that you can
Center
shoot at this point.
head. I want to shoot the head. So that's 16 to stealth. Do I have advantage or regulars that washed out this time?
We'll go with washed out again.
That's going to miss.
Okay.
12.
Yes, a 12 will miss as you fire into the mists, looking for the head of the creature. Nestrio.
Oh boy, here I go. Fucking roll the 2.
It's okay, you're at disadvantage for ranged attacks, so you can roll again.
Oh. You know, it just made me really sad.
Did you get that 20?
I did.
Oh my god, of course you did that.
Why?
No.
All right.
And I was just
Fine.
fishing for a 1. Anyways,
The fates are laughing.
Welcome to despair.
Great, Greg.
That is so cruel.
you were
You could
sure you
split
knew where it
spade
was,
inspiration.
but it was something,
Oh,
the
yeah.
vagaries of the mist.
Well, no, because like, what can do with the 2?
Mm.
Someday I'll get that and actually hit with it.
Okay. Glirial.
That's the most important.
Thanks, Gunder.
It's rough.
Huh.
I mean, at least you try. That's good.
I have good news for Glirial that she didn't waste her 1 on the disadvantage because she rolled 2 1s when rolling for disadvantage.
Ooh.
God, Glirial, what the shit?
right.
Can I give her a D6 so she doesn't fail so bad?
No,
It's
not for
gonna
critical
miss
failure.
I think she's about to hit her boyfriend.
Which will be hilarious.
Shoot.
Right
No,
in the
we
bum.
established from last time that she only critically fails and shoots people who make like disparaging comments or anything, something like that, about elves. So,
There's a dwarf around here.
One of the dwarfs back there just drops.
uh,
Where were you
What-
aiming, Glirial?
one of the dwarves looked at Nestriel's arrow shot and made some elf comment. You could just hear it from the back. They must have yelled it, and it totally threw Glirial off. And she like glared back at them as she took her shot, which ricocheted off of the mountain and bounced back and landed at the dwarf's foot, something like that. That might have actually been a critical success. It's hard to tell the difference in this case.
The dwarves don't need to know.
Right.
Oh no.
It's too far for them to tell, anyways.
Good news on her second attack, though. It does hit, and she does some damage.
Hey,
Oh, that's good.
look at that.
She's shooting at the main mast now, which is surging forward a little bit. You can make out a mouth that looks like it's big enough to swallow hobbits.
Oh, guys, this doesn't. I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, there's no turning back.
Maybe
now.
dwarves too. It's hard to say. Dwarf would be
Can
kind
we
of
sneak
pushing it.
past it? Do we have to fight it? Can we just stay away from the lake?
We told Durin we would.
I mean,
We
Don't
did.
be a coward.
Yep. Yeah, we sure did.
he asked us, but I never remember anything about
Well,
promising.
that was kind of the
They
whole.
probably don't remember me promising
That was
them.
the agreement. He lets us through. We kill this thing.
As I raise another arrow to probably inevitably miss, I will shout out to those of you who've lost hope. You don't have to stay if you don't want to, but this is a thing of shadow and it needs to be ended.
Well, crap. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So luckily, the first thing that responds to that speech is
Rally the
the tentacle
cowards.
thing.
Yep.
Oh, good.
As it once again grabs at Gunder and Allred because they're nearby.
At least I didn't recklessly attack this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's gonna help.
Yeah, that'll help.
Does a 29 hits Gundyr, so we'll do that.
Yeah, that most
Ooh.
definitely hit.
Gunder, you take your 20 bludgeoning as it grabs you and wraps you up, crushing your bones together.
Oof.
I'm fine.
Allred, does 16 hit you?
No, it doesn't. Not since I upped my defense by 1.
So yeah, that not recklessly attacking does its thing.
Wow, it did help. Nice.
Yeah. You all laughed at me. Y'all laughed at me.
I didn't laugh at you.
Prove this wrong.
I have
Now-
to watch the recording to verify that statement.
We're gonna make a hard choice.
No, Kellyan, you are again still the only other one in range here, and It rolled better
Do
than
I-
last time.
Do I see the maw of the beast at all, or can make out like the shape of it?
Oh yeah, it's you can see like it's got kind of a head with a almost circular mouth with rows of teeth in it, and a lot of dark eyes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna use my arrow and set it on fire and shoot it in its face.
Well, you can do that, but first you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage and get grabbed by a tentacle.
What the cracker jacks, Batman?
Well, there's 3 fighters and 3 archers. And guess which side you're on right now.
Oh.
Damn it! Decisions were made.
The good news, it's missed once every round so far, so that's good.
So good.
No, Christina. This is a thing of shadow and needs to be stopped.
No, it does need to be stopped. I'm just pretty damn sure that I'm gonna be stopped.
Well, you
Alright, so-
probably won't die if that makes you feel any better.
It dies. So 20 points of damage, right?
Yeah,
All right. I still shoot it in the face.
that you do. This is a great scene, right? Because you're like being flailed around up above the water with this tentacle, and you've got a bow out, and you're like, you probably had to pretty much drop your sword though, as a side note. So it's like on the shore over there, and you're aiming at the eyes of this beast with your last flaming arrow.
21.
Totally hits.
It does? Oh my goodness, it hits. Okay. Alrighty. Well,
Your goodness.
oh my goodness. Sorry. You can't tell I work in pediatrics. Alright, that is 8.
You probably get a second shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna give you flaming for that too. Roll an extra d6 for flaming.
3.
Your second shot will not be flaming.
Aww.
At least not in the traditional sense.
Alright. 19?
That hits.
Okay. 6.
Okay. I think we're to Gundyr.
Oh, good, because I'm I'm grabbed by a tentacle. I don't suppose I can use my great axe at this point.
It seems like it will be difficult to use a two-handed axe in a meaningful way while being grabbed.
Yeah, I figured as much. So I would either have to roll with great axe at disadvantage, or
Flex your muscles.
I could do reckless attack and attack at normal attack.
You could also just try and break out with strength, as mentioned, the flex the muscles option.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like trying to flex out is probably the best option, because I want to show how badass I am in front of the ladies. So
Okay, well that's a
Trying
DC
to steal
16
the
strength save.
well, I roll advantage with that, and with my advantage, I got a 25.
Yep.
Ah!
So if I miss my next shot, we know why.
So impressed.
Ooh. I guess you were so impressed.
Nestriel's rolling a disadvantage. We're not sure if it's from the mists or from Gundyr.
Ah.
I broke out because of my ab muscles.
Okay, Allred, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I guess I'll try to go.
Chop off more tentacles.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get to the main body, but I just don't know how deep the water is.
Yeah, that's not our job. Our job is tentacles.
Okay, tentacles it is. Yeah, yep. And I might as well attack recklessly myself. Why not?
Do it up. Do it up.
gotta get that tentacle that just got you, right?
Yeah, worst case scenario, you get a critical.
Yeah. Well, I got
That's the
a
worst case.
24 on the first one. That should hit. And then 22 on the second one.
Okay, well, maybe not a critical, but
Yeah, but 2 solid hits, right? 2 solid hits. Let's see.
two
What do we
solid
get?
hits is worth it.
9 for the first one, and 13 for the second one.
Slice, slice.
That's good.
That's good damage.
That is enough to cut off the tentacles. So most of the tentacles near you have been. There are some tentacles further out that are going to do stuff like throw boulders.
Huh? What?
Yep.
Coward.
It'll probably do that right. No, Kellyanne, you're still in grasp, right? So you're not getting a boulder thrown at you. Actually, I think Gliriel gets a boulder thrown at her.
Oh, hey, easy.
She'll be fine.
She's somebody's boo.
She just fails that dex check, darn.
Hey, someone go fix.
Oh yeah, no. I tell her it's like no, dodge to the left, you simpleton. 1d6.
Ooh, that's how to get shot by an arrow again.
You're the next one on our list.
I say again because that's what happened last time, right?
It did
No,
happen.
see,
last time.
simpleton is Elvish for great beauty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Simploton.
That's exactly
Pronunciation
what
was
I
off.
Yeah, it was slightly. It's the pain. It's talking.
It's a pain.
Are you giving her a d6 to try and avoid that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, she will. She only needs 1 point, so she'll get it.
Great.
Yes.
Good.
Yay.
Back to the party. It's Willard's turn.
Okay. What else is around us? What should I? Is there anything that I could potentially use that is nearby?
So there's a downhill slope to which you're on. There, it's very rocky. There are trees around one side of the lake, not too far. Some of them are actually still kind of in the lake. There's a dead tree sticking out of where the water's covered up its base. It's pretty narrow than that. There's some cliffs around, and you can in the distance hear what might be a waterfall. The door behind you has the remnants of 2 great, huge trees as well. That's all I've got.
I guess I just gotta shoot it again.
Yep.
So I'm gonna attempt to hide to get rid of that disadvantage. 27. Then do I get that advantage?
Yes.
Do I get it? Excuse me. And that just negates the other one, right?
Yes.
15 hit.
No.
Great.
You and me, buddy. We got this.
Woo.
Arrows going into the mist.
Sounds like a good book.
Well, we now know what our memoir is. Arrows in the mist.
Arrow in the
I mean, assuming we die
Watch
here.
the arrow. We missed.
I liked it.
Of course you did.
Well, it's your turn, Nestriel.
Woo! All right. This time for sure. You ready for that natural 20 that I wasted?
Nestril, I need you to look at me. You can do this.
No, I can't, because that's a 4. What's the disadvantage? Oh, there.
Do you have any inspiration you could use?
I already
I'm not
tapped
gonna use
myself
it on
out.
My damage is terrible. You guys are doing great.
That doesn't matter.
Every point can count.
I guess I do have 2.
You could spend 1.
Mm,
What if maybe you'll get a critical?
I mean, I think that's something she can ponder for next round.
Do
The
it for me.
Rolls have been made here.
you're fine. You
Uh,
take half damage, and you have a ton of hit points.
we'll see if Gliriel can critically fail again.
Taking a lot of hits.
Hopefully not.
I believe in you.
Gliriel hits twice with arrows into the main body of the thing, causing another roar
Alright.
throughout the
Nice.
area.
See, she's doing great. You're fine.
You could
Wow,
be
she
doing
rolled
too.
max damage on both arrows
Yeah.
too.
Go
See?
Gliriel.
What a
Man,
badass.
Real shit, you doing good.
She did 26
Yeah.
points of damage to it that round.
Woohoo.
Whoa!
All red. You need to marry
I'm
that
so
woman.
turned on right now.
As a side note, apparently elves can shoot bows. I know that you haven't learned this before you met Gliriel because
Right.
of your experience with Nestriel, but Gliriel really seems to know what she's doing when she shoots with the bow.
Ah,
When
look,
she's not
man,
rolling a 1.
I talk to people and I know things. What?
You talk to people.
You need more wine.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of wine, no, not speaking of wine at all. It's its turn.
Damn it.
Does it have enough tentacles left to attack you? Yes, it does. Woohoo!
The answer is yes.
Okay,
Next round, it would still be yes.
Kellyanne, you're still
Yes, I am.
in the grasp, so you get flung because you are too big to eat.
No, Killian! Killian, no!
Do I at least land in the water?
No, you get flung at Gliriel.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dude, Galerial, dodge!
Hey, in flight, give her a D6.
Like,
Oh boy, that's a
kid-
that's a pretty bad roll. Looks like Gliriel's gonna get hit.
Ah,
Oh.
damn it.
See here, you each take 9 points of damage. That's not too bad.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Dude, that's better than what we've been taking.
Yeah, that's better than just getting like.
Hit with rocks or slapped with a tentacle.
But you are thrown back 30 feet
oh.
from there.
All right.
Gundyr and Alred, you're both ready and available for tentacles.
Yeah. I mean, if it wants to sacrifice more of its tentacles to us, be my freaking guest.
Bring it on.
Okay, and you're at advantage to get hit, right, Alred? For...
Oh yeah,
Both of us are.
we're both at advantage to get hit.
Oh,
so
okay,
that's-
well-
Oh, no. You broke free. You didn't recklessly do anything.
oh, that's right. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's just me.
Okay, well, good news is you both get hit. No, wait, that's not good.
Yay!
Thanks.
So take your 20 bludgeoning and get grappled again.
Oh man.
You do feel like there's a lot less tentacles around now, though, just to be fair. And also, the head thing has gotten way closer to the two of you.
Oh, that's
Like you can kind of
really?
smell its horribly fetid breath.
Ugh.
Like something that lives underwater and is now breathing you the rotted scum of the earth in your direction.
Oh, God, why?
Well, I'm glad I was flung then.
Yeah, so far flinging seemed like a great thing, really. Like you got
Right.
less damage and less bad breath.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's end of round. So it's Kellyanne's turn.
Is it close enough that I can shoot it again?
Yes, it's way within that range. In fact, it's
All right.
moved enough that it's now close enough in the mist that it's no longer at disadvantage for this round,
Perfect.
which is probably not good
Right.
for it.
Does 18 hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool. 8. 9, 10. 10.
Noise.
Doors. Yep.
You get 2 shots.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that definitely hits. That's like a 17 plus the other stuff. So,
The other stuff.
the other stuff.
Plus the other stuff.
So that's 6. So 16?
16 points of total. Right. Okay, got it.
Yeah, total. Mhm.
Okay. Gundyr.
It's me again. All right. Well, yeah, breaking out of the grapple, yeah, that worked out well for me in the past. But I think I'd probably rather attack this thing, but I'm grappled, so I have disadvantage. But if I reckless attack, I'm
That's right.
rolling just
Do it.
normally, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna attack this thing twice while I'm grappled. That's an 18 to hit for 6 points of damage.
Woo!
Oh,
It,
7
it
points.
happens to the best of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, 7 points bar minimum. Right. His next attack is all right. That's good. 25 to hit, and
Right.
oh, there we go. Yeah, max damage for 18 points.
Nice.
Okay. That finishes off that tentacle,
Woo!
and
Yeah,
it kind of
minimum plus maximum.
it's going to use its legendary action now, which is different. It rises out of the water in pain and rage, slamming down, sending a wave of water towards Alred and Gundyr. You're grabbed, aren't you, Alred?
Yeah, I'm still grabbed.
Okay, so Gundyr, you get tossed back by this wave
Oh yeah.
onto the shore and away from it.
Oh,
As
okay.
it looks like it's taking Alred and descending down into the depths of the
No!
lake again.
Oh, hey, cool.
Good news, Alred. It's your turn.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I should just probably try to break this grapple.
Spear's
Yeah,
not the
let's-
best thing for like cutting yourself free.
No, I'm using my sword, but if I don't do enough
Yeah.
damage, you know.
Yeah. And you're at advantage on strength, so you can probably break free.
Hopefully, let's
Yeah,
try
odds are
this.
good.
Let's try to break out. Strength check. Here we go. 21.
Yep, that's good.
Whew.
You slither out of the grasp as it descends back into the tries to descend back into the depths. There's pools of blood and ichor on the surface, and Alred lands in water above his head, he disappears under the water briefly. Hopefully
I think
briefly.
I can swim. Ha 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 ha.
All red.
I go grab it.
So next is Willard. Do you
I'm
want to
gonna
try and take a shot?
take a shot at what? Is it still? Did it?
I mean,
go
you
under the
could-
water?
You could try and aim for a tentacle, or just as it's going under the water, or something like that, if you wanted.
I'm running over to Gliriel and Kellyan.
Okay.
To see if they're okay.
Yep.
Gliriel's in pretty good shape. Kellyan's pretty beat up.
Yeah. Just caked in blood, bleeding everywhere. It's fine. This
Oh.
is a normal Tuesday.
Oh geez, here. Let's see. You should take this. I'll patch you up just a bit. Heal 6.
Ooh, I'll take it. That big gash on my side is like sewn up just a little bit, so I'm not bleeding too fast.
Yeah, I wrap a bandage around it and put some things, some herbs, maybe in the wound or something. I don't know.
Ow, that stings! What do you put in there?
This will help. It'll help numb the pain and it'll help heal.
It makes the pain worse.
No, you'll be fine. Just give it a second.
Just give it a minute.
Are you sure the leaves are ground up fine enough?
Don't backsit heal.
I know how to ground the leaves. Thank you very much.
Just checking.
Okay. So obviously, there's not necessarily immediate actions at the moment. After that, what's the plan? It has disappeared back into the water, trailing black ichor.
Can
Well,
we go fishing?
I'm gonna try to not drown.
I think it's learned its
Roll
lesson.
athletics.
All right, I can do that.
I mean, how many tentacles were left?
Not many.
We need to find one of the local fishermen who has a magical ability to talk to the kraken thing.
Is 15 enough to not drown?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty easy thing that you're trying. It's just hard in armor.
I mean, we can't just leave it as is. You know, it still has the ability to eat dwarves and whatever.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be an important plot point at a certain point in time. So maybe we should just.
If you think
need
by
to
any
finish the
means
job.
that the
Oh,
Lord
we
of the
can't-
Rings is going to survive my plot,
Yeah, seriously.
you're not paying
Okay.
attention to news from afar.
Pay attention to news from afar.
I mean, it could be. It'll be fine.
That's this one's baby.
But we can't kill it while it's underwater. Can we drain the lake?
Can we drain the lake?
Can we, like...
Well, I mean, the
Right.
dwarves did say there didn't used to be a lake here, so how there's a lake here now is a question.
Are there any nearby cliffs that we can roll some
Ooh.
boulder offs?
I still have a couple fireworks left.
How is there a lake here? Can I lore for that?
Well, the problem has been, of course, the mists haven't let you see very far past the lake. So you would probably want to go look for the outlet.
Yeah, let's do that.
For those of you that got hurt, come here real quick. I gotta put my hands on you.
Oh my.
I like
Me
lean
first.
on
Me
Willet.
first, goddammit.
That's
Wait.
pretty much everybody.
How do you know you're more hurt than I am?
I don't need to know. I just know I'm more important.
Wow.
Ah. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go forward as she's healing all the other.
Why don't you
here,
let
and I'm gonna look for
us-
the horse.
why don't you let the professional do triage, huh?
Why don't you shut up and let the lady do what she wants? She can see the first patient she wants. How about that?
That's literally what I just said.
He doesn't know the word triage.
One of you gets
Or
16.
literally.
Who's getting 16? What?
Yeah, who's getting
Gets
16?
11. I don't know. You guys figure it out.
Pick. You gotta pick.
Yeah, Gundyr came up first, so he gets 16. Whoever is next gets 11.
That's okay. I'm tougher than he is anyway.
I'm only down. I'm down 10.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
I'll take the 11.
You know, just remain forgotten. It's great. It's fine.
But I'm okay. I'll
Next person gets 15.
Woo.
Yeah, 15, which should bring you back up to full.
No, it doesn't. 18, 19, 10, 11, 12.
Remember, she got grabbed twice before she got thrown.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I thought you only got grabbed
And she
once.
doesn't take half damage like we do.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
You're
Yeah.
Was that
like, me first. I'm the most wounded. And she's like,
Hashtag
over there.
not bitter. I'm just gonna walk off and go find the source of the river because
I
screw
got,
this.
Kelly
Elmer
and-
and I got grabbed and slapped 4 times.
Kelly, and you will take an additional 14 healing as I will touch you twice.
Ooh, wow. Ooh, getting touchy.
Willard, you did get hurt, right?
Yeah, I took 10 points of
Barely.
damage. I'm okay. I don't need healing. I was really concerned about it. I would have held on to my healing and
All right.
spending it on Chris.
Is anybody else still missing an excessive amount of health? I have
Define excessive.
4 more left.
I am good.
Tina.
I mean, I got.
Tina.
I
I'll
could
do.
get- I'm 14 points lower than I should be.
Okay,
I'm
I'll read where
22
you are.
down.
I'll read. You'll get another one as well.
Yeah.
13. Then I got 3 left for our journey.
Yay!
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
so
well tired. Fine.
you head around the lake to look for the lookout or the outlet.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does look like some force or something has been stacking like boulders and rocks right near the other end of the valley here, bottling up the stream.
I bet it's that thing.
It's something that's clearly pretty strong that did that. But
Well,
you
can
might
we-
have some strong people with you here.
Can we break it open?
Dalish fireworks.
That's gonna take a while, but yeah, we could probably do it.
I'll keep an eye out.
So, I mean, with like trees for levers and some really strong people, you could potentially try something to like take out some boulders that are down below. that would cause the whole thing to collapse. But of course, someone might be down there while a whole bunch of boulders are collapsing, so it could be dangerous.
I volunteer.
Should we both
Okay,
go?
I mean, I don't see why we need to both risk our lives, but I mean, sure, you can give me advantage plus advantage.
I mean, it's going to take as much strength as you've got, so you're probably both you and Alred are probably involved.
All right, so
Gotcha.
it's gonna be both of us. Look, we can do this, man. It's gonna be great.
That's right.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit to set things up, and I sort of assumed that Nestriel or Willid are giving you advice about leverage and where to do things.
Hey, I have lore.
I think that it's more general intelligence than it is lore specifically.
I mean, it would be like Stonecraft if you had it particularly.
Ooh.
But you know those scholars, I hear they're smart.
Right.
Yeah, we can help, kinda.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to do this in two ways. We're going to have Gundyr or Alred roll a thing at advantage to add
Go ahead and
strength.
take it.
And then we'll see if they succeed. Then we'll see how successful they were with that boulder.
Right, that's a 25 with advantage.
Well, that seems like a success, unless I'd come up with a 30 target number or something.
Right.
Which, surprisingly enough, I did not.
Hey!
Hey! Thank goodness.
So yeah, there's grunting and groaning, and you pop this rock as it slowly.
Underwater.
Well, I mean, you're not underwater over here, right?
Right.
You're down, but you're down. There's the roaring of the creek right next to you as you're pulling and trying to get the rock, and then this one rock comes out. It was one of the first rocks that were laid down, and then the next one, and then you look up, and let's roll Nestriel or Willid. Which one of you wants to roll intelligence, i.e.
Keep us from
Stonecraft, at advantage because you're both talking.
I got a +4 on general intelligence. All right, I'm doing the thing. Oh, nice. 23.
Okay. I think that's good news for folks.
Sweet.
The stones come trampling down, but Gundyr and Alred, who are both pretty quick, scramble out of the way as essentially this wall of water comes down after it.
Ugh.
As you can start to see, like, water. You probably didn't completely destroy the pool, but you're probably looking at 20 or 30 feet of depth that is going to be pouring out of here.
All right, now we just gotta wait for this to drain.
Up top are all the people with ranged weapons. Woohoo.
Yep.
And as it starts to drain, you can even see you do see like the dark form appear in the water, and it starts splashing around with it's only got like 3 tentacles left.
I want to aim for the head.
It does destroy the mist though, because the water is moving real quickly and the whole lot. There is no mist, so you're not attacking at disadvantage.
Huzzah!
So everyone who
Hang in there.
wants to make an attack can roll one.
Can I get it? If I stealth, do I get advantage on this one?
It's pretty quick. Just make an attack.
Cool. 14.
Okay. So Gliriel hit with 2 of her. She ends up with 3 because of her special ability, new combat.
Nice.
Did you say 14, Willid?
Mm-hmm.
That's total, right?
That's total.
Nestriel?
17.
Woo!
Yeah.
Kellyan?
22 and 18.
Okay, that's all. So everybody but Willid hits. Sorry, Willid.
It's okay. Listen, they're the heroic damage dealer hero types.
Finally, Nestriel hits.
Just
It had 3 hit points before they hit it,
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
so you don't need to roll damage.
Woo! Nestriel finally gets to hit and doesn't roll damage.
But
I
Nestriel
feel
can
like
say that she
Lyrical
killed it.
kills it, and then my arrow hits. Like you hear it do its death knell and collapse, and then my arrow hits it. I'm like,
Nestriel, you badass.
oh, don't mess with me, Gundyr.
I'm not messing with you. You killed that thing. That's amazing.
Just let him believe it. You done good.
hey, I didn't even hit it.
Well, that's okay. We still love you.
We drain the lake. The thing is dead. Mission accomplished. Is there any like treasury-looking things in the bottom of the part of the lake?
There do appear to be some dead bodies that look pretty old and rotted, hanging
Yeah.
out down there.
Ooh.
They're mostly in pieces, so you're looking at like the top half of a torso kind of thing.
Well, that's
The
not grisly at all.
there's also like some small round things that look organic.
Eggs.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that.
We should just stomp those.
Just go around and stab those.
To go out there, you guys are basically wading around in like
You want
Like-
to get one for Saruman to study?
thigh-deep water.
No.
No.
Let me just grab one and put it in a fishbowl for him.
Oh,
Just
boy.
make copious notes and give those to him.
Yeah, he'll appreciate dubious notes.
You don't want to have a weird egg baby this time?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, we can take one and cook it if you want.
Oh no.
Not
My
particularly.
like seafood is not really appetizing right now.
I for some reason doubt that would be nutritious for you.
Yeah. That thing was pretty gross looking anyway.
Yeah, shadow
so-
creatures probably don't make good food.
No.
No. They have a really very bad aftertaste. But it's
Ugh.
yes.
While they're doing cleanup, I will be taking copious amounts of very detailed notes about the eggs, the things that we find, and the creature itself for as long as they'll let me stay down here.
But to answer the actual question about treasure, there's not a lot down here that seems valuable. If you really want, you might be able to scrape some silver coins out of the bottom of the pool. I'm not sure how much that's worth for you.
Yeah,
Just a couple of coins isn't worth it.
It's
But
not worth dredging the entire.
I'll
And
roll.
if we're being watched, it's better to respect the bodies down here. Because they could be
I guess
dwarven
they
kind.
might-
we could, yeah.
So
Does anybody want to
touch.
go tell the dwarves that we did it?
I think they can see it
Sure.
from here.
I'll go do it.
Yeah, Gundyr, that seems like a good job for you.
In the meantime, I'm gonna smash the eggs.
Yeah, so I'll go up to the door.
I'll go with you, Gundyr.
What was the? Oh, right. Melon.
No, we're not hungry, the dwarves say.
You shut up. We killed the thing in the lake.
Yeah, good job. That was something.
We did it. You can go tell Durin that we did it. And
Yeah, good journeys and good luck. We're gonna shut the door up now, but if you want to come back in, probably go over the pass and meet us back at Miramir.
Wow. Wow. Really? All right.
I mean,
Fine.
we don't watch this door very often.
That's fine. That's
There's
fine.
a good chance you knock and nobody's there.
That hurts my feelings, but that's fine, I guess.
How is he supposed to drink you guys under the table again if we have to go around the mountain?
Woo!
He needs to work up an appetite.
To have an appetite to drink.
Next step.
To go hiking.
Okay,
Okay.
well, with that, you have defeated the Watcher in the Water and are headed up north towards Rivendell.
Yep.
The exact
This thing's
path.
called?
I mean, what you're assuming that someone knows how to get to Rivendell. The good news for you is that assumption is correct because Gluriel does at least know how to get to Rivendell.
Woo.
I don't know if
I
anybody
know
else
how to
does.
There, it's north.
Are the Grey Havens over here somewhere? I don't have a map up.
They're pretty far away still, I think.
They're all the way to the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they are not on the way. Neat. Okay.
You have to go through the Shire to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
We'll see.
Future plans.
So, yeah, let's. I rolled you some travel stuff, but we are in fact starting a journey, so we need our guide to give us an embarkation.
I
Wait,
can
who's
do
gonna be
that.
the guide?
I'll be the guide because I got +1 on the embark roll.
We are getting really near areas that Kellyanne knows well because
Yeah.
we're onto the west side.
Don't you get a
My-
bonus if you're the guide?
Yes, I do.
Is it better than +1?
Uh, duh, duh, duh,
I'm
duh.
just asking.
Let's see here. When tracking and lands, proficiency bonus ×2. Advantage. It says see page 82.
Not
Nice.
a number, but nice.
Right. At least I wrote down the page. Does anybody have the book with them?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
So this is known lands, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Known
So,
land.
if any part of the journey passes through a land you know, the DC of your personal event tests are lowered by 2.
You lower the peril rating of the journey by 2.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Okay.
Don't
Get a
become
lot of
lost.
benefits. Jesus.
Advantage on stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, are you guiding them?
Yes, I will.
Well, give us a D12 embarkation. You get
Oh,
to add
God.
your survival proficiency and half your wisdom. And I think, Gunder, was that +1 just for you, or was it just for our next embarkation? It was you.
I think it was just me, but
Yeah.
Ah! Doing good, guys. So that is a 17.
oh, nice.
On a D12?
On a D12 because I rolled the 12. You want to see it? It's right
No.
here.
Way to nice. Wow.
Way to waste all of your bonuses. Like you didn't even
I
need them.
know. I know.
Okay, that's 2 to your events table, so that's good. So first event then would be this one. A place touched by shadow.
Uh-oh.
So scout. I assume Gundyr or Alred is scouting.
I'll
I'd probably be a
scout.
better, I'm a better lookout than a scout.
I mean, it's generally scouting involves investigation stuff.
Yeah, who's good at investigation? Hey, maybe our thief should be the scout.
I'm good at investigating.
Yeah, if you're good at investigation, you
I'm
should
good at stealth and investigation.
Yeah, I think scout is actually designed for treasure hunters, to be fair. While guide is pretty much designed for wanderers.
Yep.
All right. So, what do you need me to roll?
Investigation. And I guess your target number is 2 less because of our guide. So,
It's going to be a 19.
well, that totally succeeds by 5. So you find a dark hill where you can see that it looks like the works of shadow have been here before. There's like stone markings around the top of it, kind of thing. And you probably decide just to avoid it completely, right?
Aww.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go back and tell them about it.
I want to go.
So if these people, you know what? Yeah, I go back. I tell Nestriel about it.
Oh, of all the people to tell.
Yeah, and then I probably make sure that Gundyr and Nestriel,
Mm.
and then yeah, I don't know. That's what I go to first, I guess.
Okay.
Well, good news. When Nestriel goes to take a look, or whoever, Kellyan probably too, because I assume that's the next step in this. You find that while there was dark runes here, but this is a place that the power and shadow have passed from it, and now the darkness that once happened here, that was probably like to summon wargs or some evil shadow creature, is now past, and it inspires all of you to know that the shadow sometimes does pass from places, and that there are things that can recover from the darkness, even if it once touched it. You all get to remove one shadow point. You've got one. And gain. Is it gain inspiration 2? That seems like a lot. Yep, gain inspiration 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And a +1 to the
Dang.
arrival roll.
Woo!
See, my desire for knowledge can be helpful.
Nice job, guys.
Good
Uh,
find, Willett.
It's lookout time. After that, we're gonna now. I'll assume Gundyr or Allred, because this is perception
Okay.
for lookout. As
I'll do it.
our second thing here.
I will sit with him so he gets something. I'm helping him be a lookout, essentially. I forget where that is. But since I don't do anything else, I can.
Yes.
Oh, I wanna know. I am reading that history book that Galadriel gave me.
Right,
Oh,
so-
well, that seems strange, but go right ahead.
Well, not right this second, but like.
No, I'm
on
just
the-
kidding.
on the trip.
Yes, it seems like a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, Gundyr, are you giving me a perception roll?
That's going to be a 22 for perception.
Okay. You spot some orc scouts. Looking around the territory.
All right. Well, I point this out to everyone else.
Oh man.
How many are there?
It's not a lot. You're looking at maybe 10.
Not enough.
They're scouting, so then that means a bigger party must be nearby.
You have no idea.
Well, why not?
Let's take them out.
It's up to you guys. I'll,
All right.
I'll be here taking care of camp.
I'll be here taking care of
Well,
I look over at Allred and Gundyr and also Glariel, and I'm like, so guys, shall
Yeah.
we?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take
Okay.
these guys.
with at least 5 of you, and these being relatively normal orcs, and you having the surprise on them, you're just going to kill them. We're not rolling dice for that.
Yay!
Right.
Yay!
Um,
Do they have anything on them that could be pertinent at all? Like any information whatsoever?
they absolutely have like the signal of Angbad, or Angmar. Excuse me, slight difference.
Oh God, no, not A. Okay.
I mean, Angbad would be a
Right,
whole
they have a
other
sigil?
thing.
Thank you for differentiating those two things.
Well, I mean, with my plots, you never know, but no, it's not Angbad. It's Angmar.
Yeah, 'cause
And,
that way-
they have kind of like scout type stuffs, like they were scouting something around here. You're not sure what it was. You didn't stop to question any of them because they're orcs.
Of course not. Yeah. I'm gonna take the sigil and pocket it.
And that's actually it for journey. It's not that long a journey to Rivendell from here in the scope of things. So you're going to get to Rivendell. Woohoo. Which, of course, is what we'll do next session. As we kind of wrap up somewhat vaguely near normal time. Or I don't know what normal time is, but like scheduled time.
a little early, but yeah.
4 minutes by my watch. We're not done yet either, because we get to at least talk a little bit about if there's anything really exciting that happened this session that you really liked. You know, we get to bookend this session with that.
Woo.
Uh,
Hooray!
Kellyan, I'll start with you though. Any
Oh. What did I like? Well, I mean, fighting the great big tentacle beastie was fun. Galariel, I think, is like the MVP of this entire process today. She like totally like owned up and like shot him in the face quite a few times. So I want to say, hey, NPC.
Shout out to the NPCs.
Hey, Greg, thanks for using all your good rolls for our NPC.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the Watcher's first 3 rolls were pretty much like a 4, 6, and a 4. So
Nice.
that did some missing. But then,
Perfect.
it can do a lot of damage. But you guys can
Yeah.
take a lot of damage.
Well,
By the
yeah,
time you're 12th
that's,
level, you're basically going to be fighting, like, I don't know, Valar or something.
well, hey, whoa.
I'm excited.
I don't want to fight those.
Nope.
Although,
We're 8th level. We just took on the thing that scared the Fellowship into the. Well, it was much older then. Maybe this was.
It was
was
older,
strong.
and they didn't stick around to try to fight. They're just like, no, let's get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
I mean, there were
Something-
hobbits to eat, right? And hobbits that could probably get eaten.
Yeah.
And hobbits carrying very powerful evil artifacts that were about to get eaten. I mean,
Good idea to get them out of there.
So, yeah. Alred, anything else?
I really like that Durin was not xenophobic. That was a big help to our whole cause.
Once again, NPC.
Oh god.
For the win.
Well, that's because his player is so very, non-xenophobic.
I'm sure it helps. Willett.
Willard's favorite part is his new memorabilia dwarven smoking pipe
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's got out as everybody's working on like prying up the dam. He's like sitting over, like cheering them on, smoking.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't.
Smoking's good for you. Makes you.
Well,
I mean, it makes
Clears
your
up the
aim
lungs.
I'm glad
It
you.
really helps breathing
on
deep.
point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you were all able to get some memorabilia from Moria.
I
In
mean,
particular, those all I went to Moria and all I got was the stinking t-shirts that you all also picked up.
But, yeah.
It's not actually true, but it's good to have them.
Yep.
Gundyr Stone Gut. What was exciting about this session?
Probably how I got the name Stone Gut. Yeah, no, I super enjoyed how it was like, don't worry, guys, I got a -1 on my check. I'll take the lead on charisma for this one. And then it panned out okay.
It
Yeah, worked
went
out.
fine.
Yeah.
And then I drank 2 dwarves, a couple of dwarves under the table. It's like, that's pretty. It's pretty dope.
That's a good day.
And Nestriel.
I like that even though we kind of pushed 2 people forward to talk about us and brag, we all ended up bragging about ourselves pretty successfully to a king who was theoretically supposed to not like me or Gliriel literally at all.
yeah.
But hey, it worked out. But I think we all did a good job talking about how everybody else was cool, and then somebody else would come in and be like, no, you're cool too. You did these things.
right.
It's almost a compliment war, which is my favorite kind of compliment war.
It's a sort of war where the damage is all.
It's all healing.
There isn't any. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Spreading the word. Kellyan's gonna get remembered. It's gonna happen.
Where a drinking contest is a social interaction.
Right.
I mean,
Very
They
social
are.
drinking is a thing.
It is?
For the dwarves, it is.
For the
definitely for the
dwarves,
dwarves
it
it is.
It's like, going to a football game.
Right.
Sports ball, but it's
But it's
Jeez.
sports
it's-
drink.
Okay. I
there's
do
no
want to
goal
mention
to
that
shoot.
the Fallowhide brothers are very happy that Willard did not kill that many bounders, although there were actually still a lot of dead
Could
boundaries
have been
comparatively.
Could
Yeah,
have
there
been
were,
better.
there were some
Um,
pretty substantial.
But they won. And that's the
Could have
important
been
part.
worse.
They'll have good stories to talk about.
That's right.
Wart pelts.
Okay.
Oh,
Cuddly wart pelts.
So we're going to be off next week for OrcaCon. If anybody's
Yay!
around OrcaCon in Bellevue next weekend, that's where about half of us, maybe a little more, are doing our thing. And then we'll be back on the week after that, I think. So with episode 6, which is going to start in Rivendell, I'm sure nothing.
Right.
It'll be a lot like the Council of Elrond, where lots of evil stuff will be talked about, and then the party will have to make a decision about what they want to do with the Hobbit. So that's just my foreshadowing. Again, we move on.
Oh, great.
Will
So I'm
it
thinking, all right,
ever
we're gonna get there. We're
go?
gonna solve this thing about my dreams and my alter ego, and then
Your
I'm gonna
missing
get to go
soul.
home.
Yeah,
No,
that's
we're
what. To be fair, that's 100% what Frodo thought too.
Yeah.
So
Just a nice little stroll, and then
And then
They're
home.
they're gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna go home.
okay. Good night, everyone. Have a great week.
Right.